I was about to go to bed. It's been a long day. Watched Pools of Evil France. Going to be streaming them tomorrow, too, which should be today when this gets uploaded. And someone in our Discord put this in there, and, well, I gotta react to it, so here we go. Armor King early look and starter guide.
Armor King is back once again in Tekken 8 as the latest DLC.
Hello again, IGN guy.
Whether or not it's your first time with the darker, edgier, spikier man with the leopard
If it's
mask,
not obvious,
we're
I
here to
haven't
go over his
watched this
Tekken 8
yet. I have
best
no
moves,
idea what they're about to say or talk about.
combos, and so much more. As
Oh,
always, thanks
Jesus.
to Bandai Namco esports manager Alex Julio for walking me through this character. And without further ado, let's break down Armor King.
Okay, I don't know why the video wasn't buffering there. I'm sorry for the edit. The video just stopped.
If you've watched the reveal trailer for Armor King, you probably have a good sense already of what's new to this version. He's fully embracing his heel persona, complete with Poison Mist.
Really?
Which is just a normal move now, not a rage drive. He can apparently blow fire on his arm, and if he gets the better of you, you better believe you're going through a table.
Yeah, but if he blows fire through the arm, what exactly does it? It seems like it's just plus
throws,
frames.
very high damage,
Enhanced
and good
moves.
frame data on a lot of his best attacks. But the big downside, as we'll get into once we look at a lot of these moves, is that they're very linear, which means he's going to have to mix in homing attacks.
Oh, God. Oh, God. He said he sat down with the balance director of the game, right? If the weakness is that he's linear, he has no weaknesses. Take it from me who plays Lydia. That is the thing that comes up time and time again about Lydia. She's linear, she's linear, she's linear. No, she's not. The way that this game system works prevents any character from being linear if you know what you're doing. People say the same thing about Heihachi as well. Hell Sweep is fully homing. Forward 3 is practically a homing move. Up forward 1 or up forward 2, I don't remember which one. That move tracks both directions. Like, there are just so many things in this game that every character, even the linear characters, have to beat sidestep that isn't homing moves, on top of moves realigning so hard. This character's gonna be busted. If that's supposed to be his weakness and that's why he has what he has, this character's going to be bonkers. Oh my God.
Get a knowledgeable opponent to stop stepping. Let's start off by looking at his best moves.
I'm not ready.
To begin, we've got down forward 1. 13 frames.
Plus 7 on hit? Plus 7 on hit? This has an extension, by the way. What is it on block?
7 on hit, and only -3 on block. It's
Lydia's is -5. -3. Oh, God.
very solid mid poke that can be used in stagger pressure. But even better, he's got a follow up in down forward.
And it's +8. Oh.
Hit catches someone trying
Lydia's
to
is what, +2?
And leave Armor King in a position to deliver the Will Ospreay special.
Oh my God. I don't even think, like, Yoshi has down forward 1-4 as a 13 frame punish. That's mid punish, but what is that, +5, +6? This poking's insane. I mean, Armor King's poking's always been good, you know, 2-1, 2-1, but Jesus. Down 2?
It's a 17 frame mid attack that recovers crouching and leaves Armor King at +5.
No, this move seems bad.
Counter hit, you're at +13, which lets you follow up with while standing 3-1.
The like moves like this generally are bad in this game.
Left, but not so much to the right. Down 3 is a 17 frame low that
I wish I knew what it was on block. Like, if this was plus on block, I don't know. Maybe I missed it, so I'll look at it again. But
then there's down 2.
It really, like, if this is plus on block, then it's decent. If it's minus on block at all, even if it's -2, it's bad.
A returning move that's still very strong.
Well, that's not true because he has the 12 frame. No, but if it's -2, it loses the down. Yeah, if it's -2 or worse, it's bad.
It's a 17
if it's plus, though, this move's crazy.
And leaves Armor King at
you have two, like, camps when it comes to moves like this. You either have, like, I keep saying Lydia, I'm sorry, but, like, Lydia was just unusable garbage. Or you have it like Azucena, where it's extremely good and a cornerstone of the neutral game. And that really depends on the frames on block.
On regular hit. On counter hit, you're at +13.
Yeah, but okay, they're not saying what it is on block.
1, which is a heat engager. It tracks pretty well to the left, but not so much to the right. Down 3 is a 17 frame low that leaves Armor King at +2 on hit and only -12 on block, making it a fairly low.
Wow, -12 for this?
Forward neutral 2 is a move
that seems really good. Are there any counter hit properties to it? I don't think there were in 7, and since he didn't bring it up, I assume there aren't now.
Is a move that he shares with King. It's a far-reaching low attack.
Yeah, this move is insane. I do know, because some footage from Evo France came out, this is only -13 on block, which is... I said in my previous video, when I first reacted to the gameplay move list of Armor King, a lot of the balancing around Armor King is really weird. A lot of the things that Armor King has is very reminiscent of beginning of Season 2 balancing, and Armor King has a bunch of things that other characters had at the beginning of Season 2 that all got patched out. When you look at the patches throughout Season 2, since they started fixing it, there are very specific instances of moves that lead to specific situations that all got universally nuked. And this forward 2 into stance is one of them. Not being able to power crush through the mids off a low like this is one of them. Like Lydia just got that change with Wolf 4, where it went from +8 to +5 on hit. And, you know, that's a low that is out of stance. And the reason is because you couldn't power crush through the, like, the forward 2 and the down forward 2 and stuff. They changed it so you can. And, and they changed one move like this with Azucena as well. I didn't look it up. I can't remember. So it's just really weird that Armor King has a move like this where it's +8 into stance. It's really strange.
It's -13 on block, but fortunately will not transition into the stance unless it hits. We'll touch more upon that stance.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really matter.
It's a stance with a number of follow-ups that will force the opponent to guess. The downside of this move, like King's, is that it's fairly linear and can be sidestepped both left and right.
He says like King's. That came straight from the mouth of the game director, didn't it? You're telling me that King's forward neutral 2, the reason why that move is the bounce the way it is because it's linear? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Dude, I'm gonna lose it.
Back 4 is a lot like King's forward 3, except instead of a follow-up DDT, Armor King gets a follow-up stunner if you press 1+2.
It's less damage. The Oki seems better though. This seems really strong at the wall in particular.
It can be sidestepped both ways. Back 1+2 is Armor King's mid-hitting.
Stop. I'm sorry, but the IGN guy needs to stop saying it's linear, like it's justification for this. Again, Lydia player, the character that's universally known as the linear character in the game, that character is not linear. Lydia is not a linear character. No character in this game is linear. This is... Oof.
It's 16 frames.
Let me rewind.
2 is Armor King's mid-hitting shove attack. It's 16 frames, does no damage, is +4 on regular hit, but on counter hit, leaves Armor King at +4.
This seems very bad.
4-2-1 follow-up for heat engager.
I don't think you're ever using this move.
Armor King has a new move on his back 3+4.
Like, it's a 16 frame non-homing heat engager.
Armor King has
on counter hit only. This move seems like unusably bad. It seems terrible. And it's a high to make it even worse.
New move on his back 3+4, and this one's a 20 frame homing mid attack that's only -9 on block, and on hit will knock down.
Yeah, I mean, he says only -9 on block, but that's pretty generic. That's standard for all homing mid attacks. Like 20 frames -9 is like the most generic homing mid ever. This move's bad. You're never using this.
Wall. Definitely something to incorporate into your offense.
You're never using this move.
Starting to sidestep your pressure. On sidestep 2, Armor King has
this move seems broken. This, like, I mean, it's not necessarily this move, but it's like -12 on block. It's +3 on hit, and it frame traps with while rising 2. They changed Ravens. Yes, that's the one I was thinking of before. I just realized they changed Ravens so that it doesn't frame trap with while rising 2 counter hit launcher. They made it so you can down jab it. in one of the later patches. Maybe I'm confusing Azucena with Ray. They definitely changed something with Azucena. Anyway, beside the point, this is one of those moves that really gets me, because this is one of those things that they pretty much universally changed throughout Season 2 with situations like this. Armor King having this is so weird. This move is unbelievably good.
Ground hit and won't be getting him punished too hard if blocked at -12. Another move for Armor King is forward 2, which is kind of like a Mishima Demon Paw. +5 on hit, -6 on block.
I'm sorry, IGN guy. I'm about to crash out. A Demon Paw is a heat engager. Eddie's forward 30 +4 is this is not a Demon Paw. His forward 4, whatever it is a Demon Paw. I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. Wow, so this is -6 on block, +5 on hit, and a counter hit launcher, right?
With pretty good pushback, potentially leading to a spacing trap.
Wow,
and
that seems
on
really
hit,
good.
It leads to a pretty damaging combo.
Yeah, dude, that's a counter hit.
Your
That
opponent
sounds like such a good
2.
move. Wow.
Your opponent starts trying to sidestep forward 2. That's when you can start throwing in forward 3.
Yeah, I mean, this move seems okay.
Heel kick that leads to a knockdown.
It doesn't.
faster than his other homing attack on back 3 +4 and +2 on block, but the trade-off is that it's a high.
It seems like as well, there's a lot of variable frame data, and it's very easy to make this +4. This move seems pretty decent for homing high. The problem with it is that on hit, it doesn't lead to a heat engager, and it's on a forward input, which makes it slower. So it says it's 17 frames, but you have to remember when it's on a forward input, you know, you have to input the forward to do the move, which makes it take longer. So if you're using this in neutral, and you can't buffer it either, so if you're using this in neutral to try tracking an opponent's sidestep, you have to think of this as like a 20 frame move most of the time. That's going to make it a lot easier to step guard. And so it not giving you like a heat engager or any big reward like that on hit makes this move, like, it's okay. It's good as an approach tool, but it's not like the best thing ever, you know? Like, we see a bunch of other moves like this, like with Zafina or Asuka, that are just better because of their properties.
On up back 1, Armor King has another new move that's a
and this is another one where you look at it for, wow, this is +5 on block outside of heat. +5 is really good. Especially when you can mix in like the forward 2 afterwards to try fishing out the counter hit. That seems very strong. But the thing is, like what we were just talking about, this is a 24 frame move. So even though it's like, yeah, the frames are good and yeah, it does a lot on hit, I feel like at higher levels, this is not going to hit very often. I mean, it's like Clive's up back 1, you know, like you never see that move hit just because it's like, what, 20 frames? And this is 24. So I don't really see this move being that. I mean, it is a good move because of the frames on block, but I don't see it being like super broken, even though on paper it looks broken.
On block and on hit, it knocks down with a handful of follow-ups.
Yeah.
The real value of this move is when it's used in heat. While in heat, this move turns into a launcher on hit, and on block allows him to transition into his bad Jaguar stance at +8.
At +8. Yeah, see, like that's really going to be the use of this move. I feel like this move isn't going to be all that spectacular outside of heat. And the main reason is because there are going to be other moves that Armor King has, just like every other character, that are going to act as your tracking moves, you know? Like, I just put a video about this on the main channel, link down below, by the way, about homing moves and such, and stepping and all of that. And one of the main takeaways from that is that there are a lot of moves in this game that aren't homing moves, but do serve to beat an opponent's sidestep. You just have to know what those moves are and what and to time it right. So it's a little bit more involved, but I feel like a lot of the time, the way that you beat sidestep in this game isn't with homing moves. I feel like homing moves serve a completely different purpose, where they're more moves that can't be sidestepped rather than moves that are specifically supposed to beat an opponent sidestepping. And the moves that beat an opponent sidestepping more rely on individual moves that aren't homing, but you can time them so they realign with movement. And I feel like this move kind of falls into that same camp just because it's so slow. step blocking is going to be very effective versus Armor King, but that's where timing is going to be incorporated, and it really kind of depends on what moves Armor King has, where when you delay them, when you time them right, are going to track an opponent's sidestep. But the real value of this move is going to be in heat, because he can just throw this out and then it's like, cool, +8 into stance with that plus on block power crush, and of course the grab mix up. That's going to be the real strength of this move, I feel. And it seems very good in that sense, but I think outside of heat, it's not going to be that strong.
Another great move he has is down back 2-1, which is a mid string that is +3 on block and wall stuns. The bad thing about it,
I wonder if you can power crush through that.
Is that it doesn't track left or right, making it vulnerable to both sidewalk and sidewalk.
Dude, I'm sorry, IGN guy, I'm about to crash out with this whole thing. The game director, like, the amount of effort IGN guy is putting into saying that you can step these moves is really telling me that the game director, like, told him in a 500-word essay about how linear Armor King is. And, you know, the same thing was true with Fakamram. The same points were being made about Fakamram being linear, but Fakamram still has moves like down forward 3+4. And his lows, of course. And that means sort of what, like I was saying before, that, you know, even though, yes, some of these individual moves are weak to sidestep, a good player is just going to utilize the moves that have been given to him to track to his weak side to stop the opponent from being able to sidestep effectively at all. And, you know, I think that's one of the underlying issues with the game in general. And this is going to be true for Armor King too. So even though, like, yeah, on paper, they're like, yeah, we've balanced it so that these moves lose to sidestep and they're very linear, they've given him other things to compensate for that, just like every character, and any decent player is going to find what those things are and make his linearity sort of a moot point. I think in Fakamram's case, it's definitely a little bit more of an issue that he has than most other characters, because generally he needs to actually be in his install state for a move like down forward 3+4 to be threatening enough to shut down sidestep. But regardless of that, this is still, like, with Armor King, it's not going to be as big of an issue as what they're leading to believe.
Armor King's bad Jaguar stance has him leaning forward with his arms out, ready for a number of follow-ups. It's not a held stance, as it only lasts for about a second before he reverts back to normal. While in the stance,
You can still delay in there, though.
Armor King has an automatic punch parry in the form of his Poison Mist. If it hits, you get a guaranteed throw opportunity. He has a number of ways to get into the stance. He can get into it manually by hitting forward 3+4, but he also has a number of strings where he can opt into going into stance by holding forward. Strings like
there are
2-1 forward.
There are a ton of them. There are a ton of them. Let's look at the frame data on this. There was so many in the move list, I can't even keep track of how many ways you can go in the stance. It's kind of obnoxious. So this, like, what's interesting about this was on hit. This wasn't on block. I mean, you see, this was on counter hit. He does 1-2-1 in the stance, and he's -11. That means if you have a read on this, even though you get hit, you can hop kick him, and it will be even the armor move.
1 forward, though you're -11,
so,
even on hit when going into the
yeah,
stance,
it seems like a really big gimmick.
3+4, 1 forward puts you.
That's +8 on hit. That seems pretty good.
Stance at +8 on hit. Forward 1+2 forward, which is an armored move that only transitions on hit while being -12 on block.
-12, and it's +20 what frames on hit? +26.
Down forward 2
it's
hit while being an armored move that only transitions.
It's +26 on hit, mid power crush, -12 on block. Dude, that's cool. That's really good. But it's linear. That's why it has to be -12 instead of -13. Dude. Yeah, down forward 2-1. This move seems crazy. Because down forward 2 by itself, counter hit launcher, and then it has a string that also leads into stance at +8. But it's linear, so that's why it's like that. Man, dude. Like, I look at this stuff, and I'm not trying to say Armor King is bust. I know the bandwagon is that Armor King is broken right now, and sure, whatever, right? We don't know. It's speculation. But regardless of that, and I'm a staunch defender of stances in Tekken. I defend a lot of stuff in this game that people hate, but I look at some of the stuff like this and hearing their reasoning, because clearly, again, their reasoning for balancing this is that it's linear, and it really makes me question the balancing team of this game, because they give weaknesses that aren't as pronounced as they believe these weaknesses actually are. Like, for example, with Ana, they said in the Tekken Talk that Ana has bad lows. Her weakness is that her lows are bad. And I wish I was kidding when I said that. But you can look at the Tekken Talk for Ana. Harada and Michael Murray say that explicitly, or maybe it was Nikatsu that said it. I don't remember. But I know Murray said it because he translated it. That, Ana's weakness is that her lows are bad, and clearly that's not true. And so with Fakamram as well, his weakness is that he's linear. Clearly not true. And with Armor King as well, a lot of these moves have absurd properties on them, and I'm sure the reason is because in the balancing, they went, we're going to make these moves linear, and we're going to compensate for, or maybe the moves being linear compensates for how strong they are, but with how the game functions, that isn't really that much of a weakness, and regardless of that, it's not fun. And so the balancing design with so many aspects of the characters and this game gives me a lot of pause, because I can see what their intention is, but every time they miss the mark in a way that makes me really question how well they understand their own game. And it also makes me question who their playtesters are and who's giving them feedback, because man, a move like down forward 2-1 being the way that it is, being as plus as it is, and the weakness being it's linear just doesn't sit right with me at all. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, rambled enough. Let's continue.
Forward, neutral.
Yep, 12 frame punish also goes into it at what frames? +8. That's just the frames on all of these. It seems like all of these transitions go into stance at +8, so that's what you have to play around.
Forward, neutral.
Yeah, forward, neutral 2, same thing. That's the magic number with Armor King.
Back 1, which gets you in the stance.
Yeah, and then this on block is also +8.
While in bad Jaguar stance, your follow-ups.
Yep, so he has an 11 frame move, so down jab can beat this, but power crush loses to it, which again is like a universe. Well, I guess these are more on hit than on block, but up back 1 is on block, and universally they changed this so that you're able to power crush through all of the highs and mids out of all of these stance transitions, but for some reason, Armor King is the exception. He can also heat smash out of it too to beat power crush. So
bad Jaguar 1, which is an 11 frame high and your fastest option out of the stance, +8 on hit and +1 on block. Bad Jaguar
+1 on block, please.
2, which has 2 follow-ups in either 2, 3.
Well, yeah, and then he has a 15 frame. So that does lose to power crush. It does lose to power. So they have balanced it so that the high beats power crush for some reason, even though he has the low and the grabs. But the mid loses to power crush. See, and the weird thing is too, they're saying that they're balancing him around being linear, but these things are +8 in the stance, and you can't step any of these moves because he's so, like, you can't step the 1, which doesn't make sense to me, because not only does he have the heat smash to beat power crush, but then his grabs, because this was explained in the move list, his grabs while in heat in bad Jaguar become homing. So you can make it so that this is like +5 or whatever, and make it so that you can step these things or down jab, but then have it so that obviously the power crush is going to be down jab, and then the grabs are homing. So if you try sidestepping while he's in heat, then the grabs force a 50-50 mix up between the 1 and the 2 break. And instead they just like didn't even think about any of the dynamic or the interaction between the 2 characters on the offense and defensive side when going into this, and just said +8 mix up free. Man, it just, again, it really makes me question the balancing team. It really does. Because again, I can see, like, I understand. I get it, because again, the justification is, well, the moves are linear. But like, it's the same with Ana. Well, her lows are bad, so let's make down back 4 really powerful on hit and give her a lot of plus frames and go into the stance and all that. And they had to nerf that because it turns out, even though it's launch punishable, that doesn't mean the low is bad. Oh my god.
Bad Jaguar 3, which is a 20-frame power crush that's -13 on block and tracks to the right, but not the left.
It doesn't matter, though, because you have 1. It doesn't matter if it loses to sidestep left. The 1 is going to track. The 2 probably tracks as well at +8. It might not. To be fair, it might not. It probably does against a lot of characters. Maybe not so much against others. But it doesn't matter.
He has a follow-up with 3-2.
So what? They're justifying this being natural on normal hit +5 on block power crush because you can step it to the left. Like, if you want any proof of what I'm talking about making any logical sense, here you go. That's how they're balancing this. They're balancing it so that's insane. And then also, again, the grabs are homing. So the move is balanced in a way where, like, after forward 4 neutral 2, you can step it to the left, but then everything else he does in stance will track you sidestep left. That's unbelievable. And then, of course, if you power crush, then the 1 beats. Dude, and the grabs, dude, that's...
Or a 17-frame low that leaves you at +3 on hit, knocks down
wow.
counter hit, and is -13 on block.
And look at this as well. He's setting this up so to try sidestepping it,
a 17-frame low
and it
that
just
leaves you
tracks.
+3 on hit, knocks down on counter hit, and is -13 on block. If you think they're not going to press anything
-13,
and you want to keep your turn, you can do Bad Jaguar 1+2, which is a 26-frame mid.
Dude, what do you mean? You're never gonna use this. You just use 1.
That leaves you
What do you mean keep your turn? You're keeping your turn. You press 1. Here, I'm gonna give you the Armor King tutorial. You go in the Bad Jaguar, press 1, 2-1, 2-1, and then forward neutral 2. Like,
5 on block. It can be sidewalked in both directions, though. And finally,
yeah, but who cares? It can be sidewalked in both directions. So what? He has 1. He has the grabs. He
has his giant swing out of Bad Jaguar as well. He has his giant swing
sidewalking
out of Bad
This is a sick joke.
Jaguar as well on 1+3 out of stance, and another throw on 2+4.
This is a sick joke.
Speaking of throws,
They track even outside of heat. But guys, 1+2 can be stepped in both directions, so...
let's just touch on some of Armor King's unique throws, because he is a king after all. His 2+4 throw...
Oh, this is gonna be fun getting this guy to GOD.
Does a little bit of extra damage and can stage transition by breaking the floor. Down forward 2+3 is a headbutt that is a 2 break. Down back 1+2 and up forward 1+2 are 2 throws that are 1+2 breaks. His most damaging throw is his Tombstone Pile Driver on down back neutral forward 2+4. This one also stage transitions.
Oh my god, yeah, and it breaks the
He's also got
floor
Shining
too.
Wizard
That's
on
so
forward,
much damage.
Forward 2+4. This actually becomes a homing attack during heat, and hitting it restores heat time. He has a quarter circle back.
Dude, it's crazy to me how everyone complained about King having homing throws while in heat, which is justified. He absolutely should not have homing throws in heat. Because not only is it confusing that there's a homing trail when he does throws of, like, all of a sudden, like, I'm sitting there dealing with Shining Wizard Giant Swing mix-up, and then he does Shining Wizard, and it has homing trails like it's a generic throw. But then also, his weakness is sidestep. Armored King's weakness is sidestep, and his moves are linear. So while he's in heat, let's just make his throws homing. And let's also make it so his homing moves leave him +8 into stance, into a +5 on block power crush, to allow him to be able to do the unreactable poison breath, or forward 2 to counter hit launcher, or forward neutral 2 to go in the stance, so that he can poison breath to get a guaranteed throw to break the floor to do full combo. Rah!
1+2 break, and is also a homing attack during heat that restores heat time. His giant swing is the same input as King's, and is also.
I'm so sorry for anyone that's going to be playing in tournament. Like anyone that's going to Tiger Uppercut, I feel for you. This is.
Wall throws.
This is.
Crouching throws. Bounce throws.
This guy's gonna need an emergency patch.
On his 10-frame punish, he's got
Holy.
2-1 will be the better option as it's slightly more damage and
plus
advantage on hit.
7 frame trap in the forward 2 1 frame link. It's 16, right? Forward 2 16 frames. It trades with jab 1 frame link. Oh my god. That's +9. Dude, like
for 12 frames, he's got.
This is absurd. I don't even think you go in the stance here. He's +8 not going in this. You do this forward neutral 2. 2-1, dude. You don't even go in the stance. He's so plus and neutral. You don't even have to go in the stance. You're going in the stance here, and you're doing this shit in a way where the opponent is not even gonna see it coming.
15 frames, there's 4-3.
Oh my god, that's +9. Why is his 13 frame punish +9 on normal hit?
He has a few options. Down back 2-3 is best for when you're at the wall as a wall stun, but down back 2-4 is the better option if there's no.
I guess that doesn't wall splat anymore.
+7 on hit, and if you're fast enough.
Dude, wait. This is 32 damage +7.
Frames, there's 4.
This is 35 +9. His 13 frame punish is more damage and more plus than his 14 frame punish. Did they balance this guy at all?
3, which leaves you at +9.
No, I'm not taking crazy pills, right? 13 frames, +9 on normal hit, 35 damage. 14 frame punish. That one knocks down, but that's worse. It knocking down is worse. It's 2 more damage, knocks down. You run up to them, oh, toe kick. These +9, what do you do? What do you do? You can't do anything if he's +9. Oh my god.
You're at the wall, as a wall stun.
No, sorry. It's 1 less damage and knocks them down so you don't have plus frames to continue your pressure. And then the alternative one is 32 +7. What? Did they even look?
Better option if there's no walls around, as it leaves you at +7 on hit. And if you're fast enough, you could do forward 4, which
that's
is
14
frames, he has
dude. So you're trying to tell. Hold on, is this a mid?
Which is a heat engager.
Is this a mid?
You could do forward.
You're telling me that you would rather do 14 frame, down back 2-3, knock down, run up, and hope to God that they just wake up and eat the free mix, instead of doing 4-3 into forward 4 heat engager, forward 2 counter hit launcher, forward neutral 2 +8 into mix. Even 2-1 +7. What?
Forward 4, which is a heat engager. For 15 frames, he has up forward 2-1, up forward 4, and if you're really fast, you could do his dark upper. All of these are combo starters. He also has forward 2-1 if you're out of range of one of his launchers, or you just want the heat engager. For 16 frames, and for moments where he's pushed back very far, he has back 3. For anything slower than 23 frames,
man, I want to know what back 3 is on block. I want to know if it's plus or not.
For while standing punishes, at 11 frames,
it's probably punishable, but
4, which leaves him at +5. While standing 2 is his 12 frame punish, counter hit
dude,
launcher,
this move is
+3
busted.
hit. While standing,
While standing, that move's gonna get nerfed. There's no way they're gonna keep while standing 2 as a counter hit launcher at 12 and be safe. There's no, they're gonna make that move is either going to only give a guaranteed follow-up and maybe be a launcher in heat. Or it's going to, they're gonna change it to like 15 frames, or they're gonna make it at least -10. Probably -12. There's no way it's dude, this character.
While standing 1 is his launching 15 frame while standing punish, and from crouch.
Watch his while rising 1 as well be like -11 on block 2 for some reason.
Your hardest hitting punish while crouched for anything more than 24 frames. Now let's put this together and look at some starter combos for Armor King, covering a couple of different starters and situations.
I went into this with an open mind. I really went into this with an open mind. I swear to you. Dude, this damage is... This is without walls, by the way. And it's probably not even optimal. No blue spark. No heat, by the way, either. There's no fucking way that the safe 12 frame counter hit while standing launcher that frame traps with every move that's ever existed ever does 83 damage without heat, without walls. You are...
And that's Armor King. Thanks so much for watching, and for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
I'm going to bed. Good night.